If you were watching last week's episode, then you know that everything over in the Patreon has been completely revamped to create space and make space for you. So I want to invite you to the archive and to become one of the keepers within the archive. Y'all, they're deleting history every day. Okay, they are erasing things left and right. So this is our opportunity to keep those memories, to keep our recipes, to keep the music, to keep the stories, and really talk about the things that are important to us. So please come over to the archive. It's only $5 a month, and you can join by going to patreon.com/slash minding my black ass business. When you join, you will get an orientation video that will allow you to understand how to roam about our different collections that we have. So those collections will be there for you to peruse through, to add to take from. We also have chats that are there. So said all that to say, come hang out in the archive. And if you want to know where the things are that talk about me, that's in the inner circle. So when you go into the inner circle collection, you'll have an opportunity to be able to learn about the things that are important to me and to come and share and have conversation and all of that. Go to patreon.com/slash minding my black ass business to join the archive and to join me in the inner circle collection. Hey y'all, I'm Kimberland, and this is the Frolicking Truth, a soft space for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal. Here, joy meets justice. We calm our Black ass nervous systems, we unmask, and we leave behind whatever that is trying to kill us. You're seen here, you're safe here, and you don't have to do this alone. Yes, honey. Hello there. So, we are smack dab in the middle of a conversation. I'm here with the inner circle, which is my little area of the archive, the Patreon. And we were just talking about crying. And so I just want to kick this off with a soft poll. Okay, for those of you who are watching. And if you are watching during the premiere, you can join us in the live chat and you can respond in the live chat. If you are watching afterwards, you're watching the replay, what have you, leave a comment and let me know how often you be crying. How often do you be crying? All grammatical things intended. Okay, that's the question. How often do you be crying? Tell me that in the comments and or in the chat. Thank you so very much. All right. All right. So let's get started. Come on in here, y'all. Find a comfortable spot. Take a seat. I'm grateful to have you here with me for episode 25 of The Frolicking Truth. I just want to pause there for a moment. It's been 25 episodes already. That means 25 weeks in a row that we have met here to talk about the things. And I think that that just deserves a pat, 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 pat. That's what somebody put in the chat. Yes. Okay. I think that that is something to celebrate, to clock, to applaud, to get excited about. It's been 25 episodes. And if you can't tell, I'm feeling myself about that. So, welcome to episode 25 of the Frolicking Truth podcast for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal, where joy meets justice and nervous systems get free. It is okay if you don't identify with any of those descriptors. You are still welcome here. It just means that when you come ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to support. So hey y'all. Yes, I hardly ever had tears as a kid. So now I be crying. It feels like a release. Yes. See, what I don't remember what episode I said this on, but I called it emotional constipation. You know, because we were taught to be thugs. You know, I'm from the streets. I don't know where y'all from, you feel me? But I'm from the streets. And you know, you wasn't supposed to be out there crying, you know what I'm saying? You had to be hardcore, you feel me? You know what I mean? And then, like, when all them girls was trying to fight me when I was little, I really used to had to figure out like how to cuss them out real good. You can't be crying when people trying to fight you. Then you look like a bitch, you know? So anyway, we come from those days and times, and crying was not something that, we really got a chance to exercise for a lot of us. And so now I do. I be crying. It don't take a lot. It does not take a lot for me to cry, which I also heard when I was a child that is also how I operated before they broke me out of that. Is they said I used to always have a tear ready to fall. And you know why? It's because I was looking at humanity and I was thinking to myself, my God, today, y'all need some help. Hey, don't be questioning my street cred in this here chat. See, y'all remember that? Y'all remember I told y'all her name. I'm not gonna say it again, but y'all remember I told y'all about my friend I went to college with. She up in here. She be causing shenanigans all the time. I'm just letting y'all know what's happening. So, anyways, let's get to the things. Let's get to the things. All right. So, first off, I usually start this off with my auntie check in. And so, Raina is the first thing that's up. And again, if you're new here, Raina is my hair. And this morning, I wet Raina because I keep talking to y'all about this patch that's right here. It don't be doing right, and I don't know what's going on. So I wet it this morning to try to like help it to be better, but I also got it clipped back because there'd be a lot going on. But like I want the curls. You see how the curls look right now, right? Probably not because you can't really see in the camera, but they look curly. But then the frizz and stuff, it just be a lot. So I'm trying to figure out how I could help Raina in her multiple textures that she has going on. But I also keep asking myself, to what end am I going to continue allowing Raina to grow? Okay. Because at what point do we just say, all right, now that's enough? Now that's enough. Now granted, the whole like process has become so much easier, y'all. I wouldn't lie to you. When I tell you I used to dread doing my hair because it used to take so long. One of the reasons I didn't go natural for so long is because I was like, who finna comb all this hair? Like I have a lot of hair, right? But I wasn't washing my hair at all for a long time. And I don't mean like my hair didn't get washed. I mean, I went to the salon to get it washed. But what I was gonna say. But now that I've had to take over the washing of my hair and it has become so much easier, it sometimes almost feels enjoyable. Oh, let me go. Okay, girl, what we finna do today, sis? So we standing there. What you feel like doing, girl? You want a little kickback? We changed the side of the part and like all of that. But also, at what point are we gonna be like, all right, that's enough? And I don't know. So I feel like I want to see if Raina is gonna like get longer as well, because she's definitely getting bigger, right? But then longer. But then when do we say enough is enough? So that's the question that me and Raina have been discussing, and I'll keep y'all posted on that. But thank you for the compliments and things. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of it, and we had to repair our relationship. That was a really big part of it because it doing hair wasn't something that I was like, yay, let's go do hair. That was not it. I want to do anything else but hair. But now that we have this cadence, now it's feeling more like, girl, let's hang out today and let's see what you're talking about. And I like that. All right. So I don't know where you are in your hair journey, but definitely invite you to share what that's looking like and sounding like for you, because it is a journey, child, and it is very much a process of figuring out your hair and what's best for your hair and all that. But it really can be enjoyable. So shout out to Raina. Want to uplift again that I am going to be going on a break, honey. A very much needed, very much well deserved, if I must say so myself, break. All right. So my break is starting the week of November 16th through January 11th. So I'm going on a break. All right. I need to go sit down and rest my nerves. I need to just sit down. I just need to go sit down somewhere. I feel like I've been doing a lot and I have had to really honor my brain because in the past I would just push through. I honestly would. I would just push through and I would be like the week of Thanksgiving like you'll be off and just do that then. But I was starting to feel like it wasn't like you just need a vacation. It was like you need to rest your brain. And that is really what I need. And also to the point, so Shed, a winter break is something I work in education. Okay, I've been working in education for 19 years. I'm used to having built-in breaks. And there's a reason why teachers need built-in breaks. I don't know if y'all knew that. I don't know if y'all knew that, but y'all's kids is wild. Okay. Y'all's kids is wild. And teachers be having up to 30 of y'all's kids in a room at one time. And y'all's kids be doing a lot, a lot, a lot. We be needing them breaks. Okay. Now, granted, I'm not in the schoolhouses and things no more, but I still works in education and I'm still receiving that energy. So that's one of the things. Also, the world is in chaos. Everything is on fire. Everything. So I just really need a chance to really be able to ground myself and center myself. And also, I need to practice what I preach. I need to practice what I preach. So I said all that to say shout out to the brand bestie. She's here in the chat. Because when I tell you sis is like, we finna, girl, we checking this stuff off this list, girl. You is going on this break, ma'am. You is going sit down, get focused, and do what you need to do. Ciao. We getting through our checklist though and getting the things checked off the list. And I just feel so accomplished. Like I really feel like wow, I'm setting myself up for success, because one of my favorite books is Cheaper by the Dozen. I don't know if y'all ever read the book. The book is nothing like the movie, also. So if you saw the movie, you don't just forget it. That's not what I'm talking about. But the book, the father in the book, he's an efficiency expert. So he will do like little efficiency experiments around the house all the time. So, for instance, I want to say in the opening chapter, he's like, he calculated the time to button his shirt from top to bottom versus bottom to top. The time it took for him to shave with his right hand was more than the time it took for him to shave with his left hand, but then he also had to plug all the places he cut himself. So it made it more efficient to just do it with his right hand. Like, this is what the book was talking about. And when I tell y'all that book changed my life, that book changed my life. And that is literally the way that I think about the world. Like when I was driving and like living in the US and I would have to go run errands, like I would think about what is going to be on one side of the road versus the other side of the road and like making a loop because I'm not doing all this running to and fro and back and forth. I'm not doing that, right? So having said that, that's what it's been feeling like in my mind, that I've been running to and fro and back and forth with all the different projects that I've had, and I haven't had like systems set up, and it's been really, really wild. So the brand bestie is helping me to think about the systems that work best for me and how I need things to operate so that I am able to allow things to like be automatic or like set myself up for success or like whatever. So, child, I'm excited because I need this break. I am tired. I'm not exhausted anymore. If I had to say, let me do this. If I was a battery percentage right now, what do I feel like I'm at? I think I'm at like 78% is where it's coming up for me. And I can't tell if it's draining, holding steady, or if it's increasing. I don't know. I'll have to do another check in a moment, but I'm tired, and I know that I need a break. And I know that I have been like working nonstop trying to figure out how the hell to be profitable and take care of myself as an adult, you know. Erica says right now maybe 75%. Let's talk, sis. I'm giving a good 75%. Dan said he stays at 50%. Interesting. Okay. I feel like my mind is 45% and my body is 75%. Interesting. I didn't really do a body check just now. I think I did my mind. I'm coming back with 64% for my body. I need to look deeper into that. I feel like I'm getting a little sick because the weather is changing just a little bit. It don't really get cold here, but at night and in the morning is being like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. But yeah. So anyway, Chad, that's how Auntie is doing today. All right, all right. Very good. Very good. Okay, the healing circle, our next session is going to be on Saturday, November 8th. It'll be immediately after the Frolicking Truth. And that will be at, hold on, wait, I got to do some math because y'all about to have daylight savings time on November 2nd. So usually Colombian time is going to be Eastern time. So it'll be Y'all, this is how I was the other day. Mind you, I work with teachers all across the US, right? And daylight savings time is coming up. So we're scheduling meetings and I'm like, okay, wait, so you could wait. So you on right now, I'm on Central, but then we gonna be on Eastern. So then that's gonna be the same time. So what time you want? But then the time I'm looking at on the screen is today. So today is Central, but then it's gonna be Eastern. Take me out. Take me out of here. Time zones be tearing my ass loose. You understand me? It is the one thing when you talk about a lot of mental energy got to be spent is on these damn time zones. So anyway, the healing circle is going to be at 12:30 Colombian Standard Time, which will also align with Eastern Standard Time on November 8th. Okay. So if you are a Black woman and you are wanting to reconnect to your body, to your breath, to do some stretching, we have a yoga flow. So I partner with the Well Educator and she leads us in breath work and a yoga flow. And then after that, we do some affirmations and really kind of take some time to connect to our body and process what we just experienced. And then we go out and we have a beautiful Saturday. So if that sounds like something that you would like to do and you are indeed a Black woman, please do sign up at tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. So today we are going to be talking about sisterhood. So I want to uplift this again that one of the projects that will happen in the new year is the Sisterhood Heals book study. I talked about this some weeks ago. I introduced to some and reminded others of this book called Sisterhood Heals by Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. And I talked about how that book was really instrumental for me because I got introduced to that book during the same time that I wound up having a mental health crisis. And like it was a really interesting situation. And it really made me ask about sisters and who are the people that are actually a part of my circle versus people that I've just been attached to that maybe I didn't really need to be attached to. Or maybe they were just space fillers. Or maybe they never liked me. And because I'm autistic as hell, I didn't even read the cues because I love everybody. So anyway, Sisterhood Heals is a chance for us to think about how we developed our understanding about sisterhood, as well as what sisterhood looks like for us currently, what we need it to look like. And it's just a really, really good book. So I am going to be doing that book study and thinking about that. It's going to start in the new year. So if it sounds like something that you would like to be a part of, you can sign up at tinyurl.com/sisterhood heals. And that lets me know that you are interested in the book study. So then once I get all of the details and things and whatnot, then I'm gonna be hollering at you to let you know what's up. All right, last thing I'm gonna say before we get into the things. So our soul work for the past several weeks has been about what are the characteristics that you need to feel safe in a sisterhood, a partnership, a relationship, in community. And this question has proven to be very self-reflective for some folks that I've been talking to because we don't necessarily have like an actual list. And I think sometimes we might feel like having a list is lame. I'll speak for myself. I'll use I statements. I feel like there have been points in my life like where my mental health specialist or someone would be like, write that down. And I'm like, girl, that's lame. Only lames do that, because I'm from the streets or whatever. So I had to get over that because it is so impactful because it makes you so intentional about the ways that you have relationships and the ways that you show up for people. And it really creates depth of relationship as opposed to I just know a whole bunch of people. So our soul work is going to continue to be that. And today, again, we're circling back around to sisterhood. What are the characteristics that you need to feel safe in a community? All right, all right. Bet. Girl, why she hating on me in the comments, y'all talking about Street Kim, please? Girl, you don't know my life, girl. I had started cleaning my life up by the time I got to college, girl. I am from the streets of New Orleans. It was the murder capital of the world, girl. Boy, I tell you, people just be. I'm a thug. Y'all can ask anybody. Go ask about me. Go ask. Side note, before I get into the things, why this lady had called me, this lady that I don't speak ill of very many people, but when I do speak ill of somebody, I mean that shit. This is somebody that I also had met through Beautiful Brown Girls, and she was just a fraud. I don't want to be Street Kim. I gave her grace. And I said, okay, no problem. And I went on about my business. Now, what I would have did in my old life is I would have cussed her ass out from here to next week. And it would have been a whole situation. But see, I ain't even on that no more because I done changed my life around. All right. All right. There it is. In case y'all was wondering. All right, let me stop playing with y'all. So let's get into frolicking in the feed, y'all. So did y'all watch the Boy Is Mine tour? Do y'all even know who the Boy Is Mine is? Like, I would hope that my people would know, but let's find out. Let's find out in the comments. Do you all know who the Boy Is Mine? What that is? What that even is? And let me see, they took down the video I was gonna show y'all. Cause child, the whole tour was up there on the internet, child, the whole tour. And I was just like, yes. And let me just shout out just for a minute. And I know that people not supposed to do this, but also thank you. Because I live outside of the country, right? So I can't go to any of these tours. So I'm living vicariously through people who share it on YouTube or share it on TikTok. And I just want to thank those of y'all who have shown up for those of us who could not be there. Because if I was there and I was going to the concert, I would still be going to the concert, even though I watched it because it was a vibe, right? So I just want to shout those people out. Thank y'all. Y'all doing the good work. Y'all are doing the good work. All right. So, the Boy Is Mine tour is a tour with Brandy and Monica. This was like one of the songs I'm certain all of us were singing in our mirrors. Excuse me. Can I talk to you for a minute? Hmm. I wanted to talk about his name. Oh yeah, definitely. I know his name. Well, yeah, he's mine. No, he's mine. You need to give it up. Had about enough. It's not hard to see the boy is mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused. He belongs to me. The boy is mine. Now, this is the question. Who were y'all? Were you Brandy or Monica, or did you sing both parts? And so I had to ask myself, that question, right? Because of course, to prepare for the Boy Is Mine tour, you have to like go back down memory lane, you know? So let me look up and see when Brandy and Monica came out. So when did Brandy get famous? 96, 94. Okay, 94 is when I Want to Be Down came out. Okay, hold on. When did Monica get famous? Mid to late 95. Okay, so Brandy came out with her debut in 94. And then Monica came out with her debut in 95. Okay, now 94, 95, that was eighth grade for me. Okay, 95, 96, going into high school. All right. I very much feel like when they first came out, I identified with both of them. I love them both. So, Brandy's first album, I was very much, I want to be down, down, right? I was very much Team Brandy. But then also Monica, just one of them days. Y'all, why at the concert, Monica had the sandals on the stage when she sang that song? Do y'all know the famous sandals I'm talking about? Don't take it personal. Wanna be all alone. Did you think I treat you wrong? Don't take it personal. Baby, baby. These are the sandals, y'all. These are the sandals. Why did Monica have the sandals on the stage while she was singing the song? I about lost it. That was so funny. But yeah, so I used to be singing both of them down. Okay, I was very much Team Brandy, Team Monica. Let me look at the songs that's on Brandy's debut album. Because basically what I'm trying to get to is that Brandy, they lived very different lives. And there was like a split that happened where, Brandy was from Mississippi. She was raised in the church, and she was very much like, her image was very much like cleaned up and things of that nature. So Brandy, let me see. I'm looking at the song and say, oh my God, Broken Hearted with Brandy and Wanye Morris from Boys to Men. Lonely, broken hearted, life's not over. I can start again. Yo, I used to be in my room. I'm young, but I'm wise enough to know that I just thought, I don't know what my heart was broken about. I just don't even know. But it was like so deep in my spirit. I used to love that song. And then I Say I Want to Be Down. What else? Best Friend. Oh, and then the Wait and Exhale soundtrack, child. Then the Never Say Never album, The Boy Is Mine, Full Moon. I feel like I tapped out at Brandy with Full Moon. I feel like that's when I was like, okay, I just wasn't, you know what else happened is I had found Jesus and I stopped listening to that secular music. That's what happened, probably. No, but at some point I kind of like tapped out. Now with Monica, Street Kim and Singing Kim are very entertaining. I would sing my heart out to Lonely Broken Hearted. Man, when I tell you, I just knew that I had experienced the heartbreak of all heartbreaks. And I don't know what I was going through, but I definitely felt like I was feeling it. Now, Monica was from Atlanta, Georgia. Feel me? She also started singing in church, and her debut album was called Miss Thing. Brandy came to your high school. Oh my God, are you serious? Y'all, in the chat, Brandy came to our high school and she showed us the hand movement for I Want to Be Down. That's wild. That is so wild. Wow. So yeah. Okay, so Monica. So Monica, like I said, was from Atlanta. She also started in the church, and her debut album was Miss Thang. And let me see what my jams used to be on there. So I did Don't Take a Breath. Oh, Before You Walk Out My Life. Never meant to cause you no pain. I just wanna go back to being the same. And I only wanna make things right. Yo, that used to be my song. But you know what one of my favorite songs was from Monica? Monica and Usher did a cover of Slow Jam. Now, Slow Jam is one of them hits from back in my mom and them days. Okay. But it go play another slow jam. This time make it sweet. Hey. On a slow jam for my baby and for me. They covered that song. When I tell you, I love that song. Oh, I love that song. But after the Miss Thing, I feel like I kind of went Team Brandy, and I really like, I wasn't really consuming Monica's music like that, only like her hits or whatever. So, anyway, as I was preparing to watch The Boy Is Mine on the YouTube, I started like going back down memory lane. I was in tears. You understand me? I was in here in tears. One of the things that had me in tears was that they did a Whitney Houston tribute. Now, I love me some Whitney Houston. You understand me? I love Whitney Houston. Okay. And speaking of singing and how I be singing, I used to get put out the house because, baby, I was singing a Whitney Houston song down, honey. You understand me? I don't care how many of these notes I'm catching. I'm catching the ones that I'm catching. All right. The first time I got put out the house was for singing The Greatest Love of All. Okay. Get out of here, girl. I was performing. Okay. So they had a tribute to Whitney Houston, and what like just stuck so far in my soul is that Whitney mentored, because if y'all remember back then, the industry had manufactured, we didn't know it was manufactured at the time, but the industry had manufactured this beef between Brandy and Monica, especially after The Boy Is Mine came out. So they was really like pitting them against each other. And both Brandy and Monica have been like, we didn't even know each other like that, like at all. Like there was no beef. That was very much manufactured. And they speak to it in one of the videos in the tour. So we grew up thinking, that they was beefing. Whitney Houston was an integral mentor for both of them. So with Brandy, she had done Cinderella. Oh, y'all getting to singing Kim today. No, I sang that one last week. Last week I sang that one. This week I want to sing Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carrot. Impossible for a something a done a done a son a done in marriage. And some white horses and some in diddly dee of courses. Impossible, impossible, for the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules and don't believe what sensible people say. And as that I don't know the words for this part, so I just gonna go say impossible. Things are happening every day. Yeah. So anyway, Whitney and Brandy had done Cinderella together. But Whitney also was coaching and mentoring Monica. So they did this Whitney Houston tribute, and Brandy sang Have You Ever? And Monica sang For You I Will. Oh, it was so beautiful. And so it was really great, and after that they sang The Boy Is Mine, and then the show is over. So the show that I watched was from the opening night, which was in Cincinnati. Now, before I had watched the show, I had seen a live. And on the live, I got kind of a sense for like the way that they interact with each other and the energy that they bring into the space. Because at the end of the concert on that first night, Brandy, before they ran off stage, she said, like, we was scared as hell or something, but she was like, we was scared, y'all. in the live before the concert, Brandy was speaking to how she was like when they come up in the elevator. So the first scene is they come up in this elevator. And so Brandy was like, girl, I be squeezing the shit out of your hand. Like I'll be so nervous. And Monica very much seems like a grounding force for Brandy. And Monica even said in the live, she was like, I've been trying to get this girl on stage for a very long time. And Brandy, like, just it feels like I don't know what's going on in her personal life. I haven't looked it up and I haven't tried to know, but the energy that I'm seeing, there's something that is making her feel like she's not grounded. I'll just say it that way. So Monica was just like, yeah, we finna do this and we finna do that, and Brandy was just kind of like a little bit more high strung.
Wait a minute. What'd you say, B?
So I was saying,
what be happening in the elevator?
In the elevator, so when we come up the elevator, I'm in my 98, oh my God, dreaming. This is the Brandy and Monica moment. This is what I wanted from the very beginning. And I'm freaking the fuck out because she's standing right there. I'm like, this is Monica. So I'm just trying to hold my swag. Thank God I had on glasses.
And what I be doing? Praying over us?
You
pray
over us.
I be giving a good Kojic prayer though while she over there.
She gives a Kojic prayer, but the Kojic prayer is about 30 to 45 seconds. And then she's back.
You can hear it.
Then she's back to being Monica. Like
what is Monica? Show me what Monica does.
I'm so happy to hold her hand.
I'm happy to hold you.
As the elevator's open.
What am I doing?
But this is my hand holding hers, like holding on tight, and she won't let go in case she gets swagged out. So I had to hold tight. But yeah, I'm tripping. And everybody around here is just laid back.
No, but that's just my energy.
I'm the only one tripping. That's why I know it out of her. That's why I'm about to go get ready.
You're not annoying me. I gotta tell you something too. Well, I can't tell you in front of them.
Let me move my hair out of the way before they get me in the shade room.
Tonight, y'all. We back. Night two.
Night 2, child.
Last night was great. You were phenomenal. You was vocal Bible-ing.
Oh my God. I don't know if I was vocal Bible-ing.
You was vocal Bible-ing.
Your vocals were crazy.
Well, I thank God for where I am because we found out, 2 weeks before tour, that my right cord has temporary paralysis.
Yeah. What she's going through vocally,
that's
I can't even.
But I still got all the songs out.
She sure did.
I got them out.
She sure did.
Ain't no pity around here, just prayers, patience, and work.
And I wish you guys can see that she's like rubbing my back. It's unbelievable. It is
acting like my mama. We love y'all.
We love you guys.
Thank you.
Come see us.
It's too late in some cities.
It is?
Yeah, they sold out.
Oh, they sold out. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I be tripping over the Brandy Monica thing. She cool with it. I trip the fuck out. And for the people that saying, oh, you don't know who you are and you need to stop acting like you don't know. Stop, y'all. You can respect another artist just because you got your stuff together.
For sure.
I respect her. Okay?
Sure.
And if I didn't, we wouldn't be here on tour 27 years later.
Amen to that. That's a word. Come on, preach, Brandy.
Okay. Because people be trying to act like, oh, you can't like people.
No, what needs to happen is the divisiveness has to end because if it doesn't it don't happen here. I just picked up my camera. We've been cutting up for the last hour. We just finished meet and greet. Thank you to everyone that has come. We love y'all and we promise you the show is just going to continue to elevate. Last night was crazy. Where are we?
Milwaukee.
Ooh, I love
this is the second show. Let's not do too much promising. We still got to work out the kinks and stuff like that. Let's not give them
We can, because I believe we can.
I believe we can too, but Mo is more of a faith.
And I'm about to get you outside a little bit.
Yeah, Mo is a little more faith based.
I mean, after realistic. After tour, I'm gonna get her outside. I am super faith based.
Yeah, Mo is faith based and prayer and scripture, and me is more.
Why you had to say it like that?
Yeah, I'm more scared. I'm that.
That's okay. We about to be outside. Wait till this tour over. You gonna be like, what Brandy doing there? Oh yeah, Monica.
No, I'm probably not gonna see her
outside with Gunica.
Bye. So they did that opening night, and I noticed that she said that when she ran off the stage. Well, then the second night they was in Chicago. So the concert starts happening, and then all of a sudden it's posts all over social media. Like the Boy Is Mine concert ended abruptly in Chicago. The last 20 minutes or whatever, like they was doing a duet, and Brandy ran off the stage and never came back. And then the show just ended. They didn't even say nothing. The lights just came on. Security was like, y'all gotta go. What the hell is happening? So all of these people are talking about it all over the internet. Now, I don't know if y'all know Lovey. I actually have had the comment says, I love the joy you're giving off telling us about this. I really be having a good time. This is my stage, y'all. Welcome to the show. This is what it's like to know me. So Lovey Ajayi is an author, a social media influencer. She specializes in marketing and branding is where her skill set lies. She's a New York Times bestselling author. One of her books I actually carry with me, and I don't carry a lot of books with me, but this book is called The Professional Troublemaker. And it's a book that she wrote around COVID times, and it's one of the books that I actually keep with me and I actually need to reread. So Lovey is known for talking on the internet, right? She got famous through blogs, and she was doing, I want to say, Scandal recaps, maybe. It was some show, might have been Scandal, that she was recapping that kind of like launched her into places. Lovey is also Nigerian and has spoken to her experience coming into the US as an immigrant and working through her understandings of Blackness and what it means to be Black in the US and the difference between an African experience and an African American experience. Like those are different experiences and you have a different lens of the way that you look at things. So apparently Lovey said some things in the past that people have found problematic. I don't really know. Again, I didn't go look for it to find it. But in this particular situation, what Lovey said was basically, let me find it. Hold on, y'all. Let me just pull it up. Because, I don't like to misquote people. Fun fact, though, I actually had a chance to work with Lovey during the 2020 election. And we did a social media course for businesses and helping them to understand how to leverage social media and how to use social media in an impactful way. So she was a pleasure to work with. I enjoyed. I worked with her and Donna Brazil is somebody else that was in that room. It was a very interesting situation. All right, so let's go through the timeline of what Lovey said and what had happened. All right. Now, this is over on the Facebooks. Okay. Now, I don't know. I don't be on Twitter and I don't be on those other, the other apps and things. So I don't know if this also was said somewhere else, but we're going to look at it here on the Facebook. All right. All right. So October 19th, 12:07 a.m. Brandy Monica concert in Chicago just ended really abruptly in all caps. We are all stunned. Brandy did not come back out, skipped 5 of the songs she was supposed to sing. Monica closed the show, but none of us realized it was over because it wasn't a finale. Lights just came up and everyone was like, wait, I hope Brandy's okay because we didn't even get The Boy Is Mine. Not sure what happened, but the concert was amazing up until that point. We were having a time, giving grace to Brandy and hoping she's well. All right. Now you can see here there are 329 comments and 599 shares. Lovey has a platform. All right. So the next post at 1:24 a.m. I don't know what happened that made the concert end abruptly, but I do think before we react and ask for refunds and cuss folks out, let's find out more info. Folks are speaking very confidently about stuff they don't have confirmed. A bit of grace won't hurt. All right. Next we have 12:21 p.m. So this is 12 hours or so after this has happened. All right. So here's where crisis communication teams are always needed. They should have issued a proper statement by now about what happened at last night's concert. There's a whole show in Indiana tonight, and folks still don't know what happened in Chicago. Furthermore, the fact that no one came out last night to say the show ended, good night, is in itself a red alarm because what it says is something really bad has happened or we are negligent. Regardless, this is a crisis communications, in all caps, nightmare. And right now, they're fumbling it. 12 hours later, we should already have answers. Then there's an edit that came later on. It says, edit, I see the statement now. Took 14 hours and also was not a clear way to stop the fires. Her comms team fumbled this. So then the next post is Brandy's statement that came out. So I'll read the statement first. It says, to my dear fans in Chicago, thank you all for the overwhelming love, support, and most importantly, your prayers. I sincerely apologize for the abrupt end to last night's performance in Chicago. After weeks of nonstop rehearsal, last night I experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint. Everyone involved agreed that prioritizing my well-being was of the utmost importance. I still made the decision to try and return and give it my all despite not feeling okay. With having to make some adjustments and the show being very technical, unfortunately, it was impossible to fully connect sonically with the production. I really appreciate everyone's best efforts. I'm deeply grateful to my sister Monica for stepping up with such grace and professionalism and the entire crew for their continued care and support. I went from the arena to see a doctor nearby and have taken the proper precautions to help moving forward. Your understanding, patience, and unwavering belief mean the world to me. I look forward to returning to the stage stronger and more grateful than ever, alongside my girl Monica tonight in Indianapolis. With all my love, Brandy. Now I'm going to read what Lovey's communication on that was. She said, she gotta fire her comms team. Anyone who knows anything about crisis management should know this statement is not it. Who approved this? 14 hours and this is what they put out? As a communications professional, I know this is terrible messaging. Edit. Nuance is fighting some of y'all in these comments. I'm not blaming Brandy for her fatigue. Successful crisis comms stops fires. This statement will not. It will only generate more debate, more backlash, and less grace for Brandy. This is a fail, and her team dropped the ball on this. Nothing I'm saying is hating on her. I'm still a huge fan. This is a critique of the communications. So I'm going to stop there for a second. For those of y'all who are here with me from the inner circle, what are your thoughts about all of that? What are the questions that that you're having? So I see Let's Talk Sis said, I agree with Lovey. And when you're saying agree with Lovey, give me some more specifics. What exactly are you agreeing with? Because there's a lot that's here. I will say I agree with Lovey as well. And the points that I agree with Lovey on is in regards to them not communicating with people who have spent their hard-earned money to explain like what is happening and if they will be compensated or whatever will be happening. And like just not saying anything. Not saying anything in a situation where you have done an exchange of money for services is just not the answer. I also understand that it takes time, I guess, to figure out what you're going to say. I also don't know what kind of teams that they have behind them. This is also why people have teams. because you, as the artist, as the talent, as the person, as the business owner, you cannot handle everything. So this would be a situation where your communications team would step in and say, hey, this is what's going on, this is how we want to communicate that. So I definitely think they definitely should have said something at the end of that concert. I also think that something should have been said, if not that night, like first thing that morning, that there should have been some type of statement, because again, there was another concert the next night. So I definitely, if I was a ticket holder, would be like, am I finna waste my time to go to this? And God forbid if I flew in, that's the other thing. Like, did people fly in to come and see this and then they didn't get the whole thing? Like, how are people being made whole? All of that I feel like should have been thought about and handled. I don't know what crisis management looks like. If they have somebody on staff for crisis management, I feel like when you are doing a tour or doing some type of like press release tour or an actual music tour or what have you, that you should have crisis management on standby, because something can happen. So you need to have a plan for that, right? So I definitely agree with Lovey on those parts. There's a comment here. Why didn't someone address the crowd and say Brandy is sick and won't be able to continue? I don't know. And that's what I mean. Like that should have, hey y'all, Brandy had an emergency, or it, even if they didn't want to put it on Brandy, but we have an emergency. Unfortunately, we are going to have to end the show to make sure that everything is okay, and we'll have more updates for you, whatever. Like somebody should have said something. And then again, if that didn't happen at night, definitely should have said something first thing in the morning. So to have waited so much time to put out a statement, that was a little interesting for me. And I think that should have gone differently. I agree with Lovey on those things. I also agree with people who feel like they should have a refund, they should be compensated, they should be made whole. I understand, right? I don't know how much the tickets cost, but however much it was in this economy, it costs some, right? So absolutely agree with that as well. I also, while I was watching the concert, saw how quote unquote technical the concert was. There in when I'm saying quote unquote technical, and mind you, I want to say this, but also don't put too much on this. But while this was happening, I was like, this would have never happened to Beyonce. Now, mind you, Brandy nor Monica are on Beyonce's level, nor do they have access to Beyonce money. Okay. So let's be clear on that, right? But what was happening was there were times, so they're like, it almost kind of operated in somewhat, it felt like a verses to me at times. Like Monica's singing, Brandy's sitting on stage, just kind of off to the side. Then Brandy's singing, Monica's kind of sitting there. It was like interesting for a while, even though like it's bopping and it's a jam, but that's kind of how it was set up. So I said all that to say only one mic is on at a time. But then there were times where they were singing together and somebody's mic wouldn't be on. So then it's like, this the kind of, why is that? Like, this should not be happening. So then who is the sound production? Like, and how are they making sure that these artists are not having to sing harder and show up stronger because you're not balancing the stuff in the mics or in the monitors or whatever, right? So it really got me to thinking about all the stuff that goes into a successful production, and how a lot of times as the concert goers, we're not really thinking about all that. Like, we're there to have a good time. Sing, girl, rap, do the things, do what you do. I done paid my good hard earned money, entertain me, right? Which, yes, okay. And also though, what about creating, remember they at work, right? So creating an environment where they have a safe environment to be able to do the work. And when I say safe, I mean like things work. Like I don't have to worry about my mic not coming on. I don't have, like, things are working the way that they're supposed to work, right? And so one of the reasons I mentioned Beyonce is because with the Renaissance movie, she shows us all the stuff that goes into that. And we can't be, I don't feel like we can be taking in somebody's experience and then negating all of we can't take in the experience that they're putting on the entertainment and then negate all the work that really does go into that. So there's a comment here that says, how was Kelly's performance? And this is what I want to tell you. So Kelly had spoke to some of this while she was on stage, and Kelly was like, we put these stockings on and like get off because something was going on with her mic and her. Let me show y'all. Hold on. Okay, so let me make sure this is blowed up so we could see it for real good. Let me tell you something about Kelly Rowland. This girl looks DF good. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about Kelly Rowland before we say anything else. This woman looks so good. Look at her. Look at this woman. Now, mind you, Kelly is 44. Just like that's the other thing that wait, hold on, before I get to that in a second. Look at this woman. Look at her. Baby, baby, baby. Kelly got up there, honey, and did the thing. Now, I'll also mention, I know some of Kelly's songs, like the ones that got really, really popular, but I don't really know her songs like that. But when I tell you that audience did, when I tell you that audience did, when I tell you, baby, they was singing the words, or they was here for Kelly Rowland. Okay, ciao. So what I felt like Kelly really got on stage and look, Canva said that's enough. Now you're gawking too much. Get it out of here. So Kelly got on stage and really just honored the gravity of it all. Like she talked about how long it had been since she had toured. She gave her appreciation to Brandy and Monica for having her on the tour. And she just really acknowledged like this is an exchange. You all are giving your money to be able to be here. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you the best show possible. And y'all gonna have a good time tonight. She even had a turn to your neighbor moment. She was like, look to your neighbor and say, I'm about to have a good ass time tonight. It was a vibe. So after watching Kelly's performance and listening to her and how she was interacting with the audience, because this is the other thing that I think a lot of times we don't necessarily think about is that when these entertainers are touring across the country, that this is also like ministry opportunity for them in ways. Like many of them use it as a platform to be able to build people up or to give joy, or like when you hear them talk about why they do what they do. For instance, Lizzo is one who I forget. I think the name of the album was Special, but it was the album back in 2022. We're gonna talk about that next week because that's when I used to be on the internet dancing in my drawers. Is that next week? No, I think that's a pre-recorded episode. Anyway, y'all will get that story in a little while. But when artists are traveling around the country, they realize that they have this platform and they're able to talk directly to the people that are there. And I felt like Kelly was doing a really good job of that and really just trying to connect and help people to be present with all the chaos and craziness that's going on out here. Let's be here with each other tonight, like in community. And it was just so dope. So then I wound up going down the Kelly Rowland rabbit hole. So then I started watching different podcasts with Kelly Rowland because when I sense energy, then I'd be like, now I want to know who you are as a person. And one of the things I've always heard about her is that she is such what people say is she's a girl's girl, but she is so encouraging and authentic and appreciates deep relationships with people. Hey, that's my kind of person. She's also an Aquarius. Burr, 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 burr. Shout out to all the Aquarians. So I started watching these different podcasts and I was like, wow. So she had gone on what's that lady's name from Scandal? What's it? Carrie Washington. She went on Carrie Washington's podcast and she was talking about growing up and she was talking about growing up with her aunts and the relationship that she had with her aunts and how she would watch her aunts relate to each other and what that looked like and sounded like and how she decided that she wanted to be the type of person who uplifted others. I got that same type of sense from Monica. That Monica and Brandy even spoke to us. She was like, Monica is very grounded in her faith and like she just seems very in touch with what is happening. And it made me so grateful for Brandy to be on this tour with people like Monica and Kelly Rowland. But whatever Brandy is going through and whatever is causing her anxiety or whatever is happening that is causing her to not feel as grounded, she has women around her that are grounded and can see her and can support her and can help her to feel confident and competent and whatever else that she might need. So it really, that's what started making me cry because I was like, the power of sisterhood and the power of having somebody where you're trying to figure it out and they're able to be a grounding force for you, or they're able to show up for you and to help you to think through things or to unravel what's happening in your mind or talk to the gifts that are inside of you or just give you a moment to be able to feel like that is so necessary for us to be able to have. And some of us don't have that. Some of us don't have that. And I was just so grateful. Like, I know, like, for instance, Brandy and Ray J are not like seeing eye to eye. I relate. I haven't talked to my brother in I don't know how long. And the desire as a sister to want to like be there and do, but also realizing I can't keep being there and doing and you not taking it in, like you crashing and burning and I can't, I have to save myself. Or Brandy and Monica had a conversation about love and Brandy was like, I'm straight. I'm good on that. And Monica was just like, I hear you, but also it don't have to be that. Like, it doesn't. So let's just kind of, Brandy is an Aquarius. So let's just kind of like be in this space and like hold space for each other. So it's just so beautiful. And it just made me so grateful for the community that I'm building and the people that I have that are connected to me that build a safe space to land. The folks that are here with me while I'm recording this, the inner circle, the people that are closest to me, you don't realize like your being there is why somebody might still be here. And that's not to put pressure on you, but it is to be intentional with how we're showing up in relationships that matter to us, right? Also realizing that, and this has been a big thing for me, just like with family, that word means so many different things to so many different people. But what does it mean to me? And then building and choosing my family around that, as opposed to building it around what was handed to me or this concept that was given to me. So this entire like experience as I was watching the concert and like thinking about these women and just thinking about what it looks like to show up for ourselves and show up with each other, I was just like, man, I'm just so grateful that Brandy isn't there by herself, that she's in a situation where she has a sister like Monica to be like, go ahead on and do what you need to do. This is the last thing I'm gonna say before I go. And this is a pow pow to some of y'all, and you're gonna take it. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I'm not gonna out them. Now, if they choose to out themselves, that's on them. But I was talking to somebody the other day about this. And we were talking about how they were saying that Brandy was maybe about to pass out. And they said to me, I would have passed out on that stage. And I said, hey, no. No, that's what you not finna do is pass out on this damn stage. You're gonna go sit your ass down and try to get some help. But I know what it feels like to try to like push myself to a place and like just keep pushing and being like, I just finished talking about at the top of this. And I was saying that, I need this break and I would just push through. I have been there with the pushing through. And let me tell you what happens when you push through too much. You burn yourself out and your brain breaks. That is what happens when you push yourself past where your body is telling you it is time for you to take a break. We got to stop doing it. Because when I tell you the amount of time and work that it takes to get your brain back online after you have had a situation where your brain says, I've been trying to tell you this all this time. We've been trying to tell you. We've been trying to tell you. We've been trying to tell you. You know what? Shut it down. They turned everything off. Cut it off. We're done. I know that Brandy tried to push herself. She said in the thing, I tried to push myself to come back out and be better. And then I was advised I probably shouldn't do that. I have tried to do that. I have done that. And it leads nowhere good at all, ever. So we have to honor what our body is telling us and give ourselves the space to take rest when we need rest. Pushing ourselves like that is treating ourselves like we're robots or machines. We are not. We are neither. We are not robots, machines, or AI. So we have to incorporate the awareness within our body to say, okay, all right, so I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. Excuse me, y'all. Church finger goes up. I'm about to pass out, you know? Let me grab some of these comments. Tusha said Brandy needed Gatorade. Let's Talk Sis says it was me, y'all. I said it. God took a lot to say. Just got offline with therapists and finding myself saying that I'm in some familiar burnout adjacent territory. I can relate. I just said the same thing to myself. That's why I'm having this break. Would have been on that stage flat on my face, shaking my head. Pray for me. We got to do better. We got to do better. So I'm grateful for whoever was on her team that was like, what you finna do is sit your ass down. That's what's finna happen. Now, after that, they should have then walked out on the stage and been like, excuse me. Hello, everyone. We have had a medical emergency, so we are going to need to end the show right now. We are so sorry. We will get back with you in regards to how you will be made whole for this, but we're going to need to go ahead and end the show. Like, that's what should have happened after that, but I'm glad that somebody had sense enough to be like, girl, sit down. Sit it down. So, y'all, this the other thing that I wanted to say that I forgot to say. They are 44 years old. Okay. We are all the same age. So, Brandy, Monica, Kelly, Beyonce, we're all 44, 45 years old. Okay. So, knowing that it's important for us to make sure that we are conditioning and getting ourselves in a space where we're performance ready. It might not feel like there's a lot that has to be done, but there's a lot of conditioning that needs to be done when you're talking about a tour. Even for me, like I'm an educator. So if I were to have to go back into a classroom, like there's teaching shape. So teaching shape means that you are up and at 'em all day. You are walking around all day. You getting 10,000 plus steps. You running from here to there and everywhere else. I'm not in teacher shape right now. Right. So there's a part of that that also makes me wonder about how they were getting ready for the tour and what that looked like and what that sounded like and what their regimen looked like and their sleep regimen and their hydration regimen and all of that. And to my point about Beyonce, Beyonce has fans. She's got, the breaks where she's doing a costume change. Like you got to build in those pieces so that you aren't pushing yourself too far. Also, Brandy had on hella clothes, y'all. She had on a lot of clothes. To be a 44-year-old woman who is probably going through perimenopause is hot as hell. Them lights is bright as hell. You dancing on the stage, you doing all of this. Like, I would have passed out too. So, what are the ways that we can help her so that she's not getting overheated and not feeling dehydrated and like all of that? Like, there's a lot that goes into this. So, whoever the stylist is, they also need to rethink the type of clothing that they are outfitting her in to set her up for success. So I wanted to make sure I said that too, because we 44. We are 40. We are in our big 40s. Okay. Them knees ain't men like they used to. They not like, come on now. Come on. We got to put some respect on ourselves. All right. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. So I would love to know your thoughts as well of how you are receiving this? Do you plan on, if you're in the US, do you plan on going to the concerts? You know what? So I see a comment here. Erica said, in all fairness, if she would have passed out, the audience would be more understanding and felt bad for her. I'm not quite sure about that. Some of the comments that I've seen, I'm not quite sure that they would have, because I also saw people being like, you knew you was going on tour, drink some water, bitch. Like, yes, also, what if something really, really bad would have happened? I don't know. I do think they wouldn't have had questions though about what happened. It would have been very clear. But then the headlines would have been, singer Brandy passes out on the stage only at the second concert tour. Is she dead? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if people be caring like that. I don't know. I just don't know. I talked about all of that to bring us back to thinking about what we need from people so that we are able to feel safe in these partnerships and these. So this is an example of a sisterhood, of a business ship where they are touring together. So what type of environment do you need to have in order to feel safe in different types of relationships and or in community? All right. So please do share that in the comments for me. So today's post says, when we see each other clearly, we remind each other how to rise. Sisterhood isn't just support. It's the mirror that helps us recognize our own strength. One thing I want to leave us with is to get into the habit of seeing people, right? Not just looking at people, but actually seeing people. Taking a moment to stop and see what they might be going through and asking yourself if there is anything that you are able to contribute, even if that is just to hold space, to help them to feel seen. A lot of us go through the world feeling invisible. And one of the benefits of being in sisterhood and being in community is that there are people who see you and love you and care about you. So my invitation is for you to come into community with me and with the folks that are in the inner circle, the folks that are a part of the archive. That is an opportunity for you to find community that will allow you to show up as your full self without holding back pieces of you for fear of being judged. All right. So that's it. That's all that I have for today. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. All right, y'all. That's it. That's all. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Frolicking Truth, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. Please be sure to like, rate, and comment. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Minding My Black Ass Business, and follow me on all social platforms. Until next time.